כאן, מישהו נכנס עוד רגע.
מה זה? Live on YouTube? Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
זה אני.
אז...
אבל זה רק מוקלט ביוטיוב, זה לא באמת, אם מישהו נכנס עכשיו הוא לא יראה שום דבר. כי שמתי את זה מישהו נכנס עוד רגע? כן, זה עדיין בסרטון פרטי. כן.
האמת שהבטריה של המחשב שלי...
הנה.
מה בעצם עשית עכשיו?
עכשיו הפכתי אותך להוסט, אבל רק להתחיל בזה שאני עושה את השידור לענן. אני בכל זאת אקליט.
איך זה עניין של הגדרות שמה? איפה עושים את זה?
יש משהו כמו כזה, אפשרויות נוספות, ואז יש שם שידור חי ביוטיוב, ואז...
איפה? במור? רגע, סטופ. אני עכשיו, אם אני פותחת מור, זה נותן לי רק סטופ לייב סטרים.
לייב סטרים בעצם, כן.
כן, אבל קודם זה היה, אם אני עושה סטופ אז זה, ואם אני אנתק את זה, אז זה...
סטופ, כן, זה פשוט
זה יתנתק. אוקיי, ובעצם איפה, מה הלינק של יש לנו ערוץ יוטיוב לקהילה, נכון?
כן, זה יהיה בינתיים, זה לא יהיה זמין שם, אלא מי שרוצה, אנחנו נשלח לו את הקישור.
הבנתי, אז באמת, בכל מקרה תשלח לי, בסדר?
כן, בטח. בסוף אני אקבל...
כן. יוסי. יוסי. רגע, אני צריכה, זהו. בעצם אני לא צריכה לאשר כניסה, אני רואה שביטלת את האפשרות הזאת, נכון?
לא, זה שתי אפשרויות, או שיש חדר המתנה, או שיש סיסמה. כיוון שלאנשים יש את הסיסמה, או שבתוך הקישור שמנו כבר את הסיסמה, אז אנשים יכולים להיכנס.
זהו.
כדי למנוע פריצות לזום.
תודה רבה דוד, הרב דוד.
שיהיה חג שמח.
חג שמח. תהנו. דש לדיאנה.
אני אמסור.
שלום קריסטל. חג שמח.
היי. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Hi, Crystal.
How are you? How are you, Crystal?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. Good, fine. Yeah. Here, I put a picture of my new Hanukkah, our new Hanukkah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. How is everything? How is, I don't know, how is...
Everything's good.
Yeah. The name, your metapelet, I forgot her name.
Dipti.
Yeah.
Dipti.
Dipti, yeah. Shalom, Wendy.
Yeah, Dipti.
Hello, shalom.
Hi.
חנוכיה יפה.
נכון? כן.
כן, ממש יפה.
אני קניתי, I bought, well, actually, it's a birthday present. Yeah, yeah, I chose. It's a birthday present, because my birthday is in the summer. Shalom, Gershom, מה נשמע? So I never get presents of, like Hanukkah or winter presents. So now, this year, I said I will wait. Oh, Jonathan. Hello,
it's
Jonathan.
actually me. It's me. It's not. I don't know why his picture is there.
You are bolded now.
You know what? I can put me on video.
Yeah. Shalom, Gary. Hello.
Shalom.
Chag Sameach Hanukkah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Hine.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, hi,
All of
Wendy.
I
Hi,
thought I mean,
Crystal.
I
Hi,
thought
Yossi,
Hi.
Gershon, and Gary.
yeah, I thought
Laura,
I'm in
that's
the
so
middle of-
nice. זה ממש חנוכיה או זה סתם?
זה חנוכיה, חנוכיה זה
אבל זה נרות או אורות?
זה נרות, זה פשוט תמונה שקודם הדלקתי וצילמתי ושמתי.
Oh, I see, okay.
שלום פאולה.
שלום.
שלום, and welcome. איך העברית של... את מדברת עברית? אני לא...
מבינה קצת, לאט לאט.
Okay,
Bye.
okay. So Paula is a new participant in our class. My name is
Hi,
Ora.
Paula.
Will,
Hi, everybody.
so welcome, and
Welcome, Paula.
you made Aliyah from?
I'm originally from Brazil. Yeah, so I was not in Brazil when I came, but yes, I originally from
Okay.
Where are you from in Brazil?
São Paulo.
Oh,
Yeah.
your English sounds native.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Rabbi David told me that he talked with you today, and you will be participating.
Yes, I hope I can go and join the tomorrow meeting if we're as well. Looking forward to it.
Shalom, Katrina. Hello, Chag Sameach.
She needs to plug in.
Yeah. Although if you don't, you still hear the without headphone. So okay, so we will. I know that few people will not join us today because they have Zoom family parties with for Hanukkah, but we will wait maybe 1 or 2 minutes more.
I'm surprised so many
Yehuda.
people are here because so many people they couldn't come. Claire and Dina.
Claire and Shalom Ginny.
Also,
Hi,
Lynn Lukin is having a Zoom.
Shalom Shlomo. How are you? Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Wendy, it looks like you and I are the only Moria people here.
Yes, it does. And
No, but Katrina.
Oh, and Katarina.
And Yossi.
yes.
And yeah. But
No, but Wendy and I are the only old timers.
Well, Sharon,
Gary
Sharon,
and-
you're not as old as me.
I'm not as old as you, but I've been a member of Moria for 35 years.
Yes.
Wow.
And I for 45 years. Yeah.
Okay, well, you're a bit older than I am.
Yeah, a bit.
I always feel so young in Moria from every sense. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and we will continue reading. Well, last time we read, I was planning to read
Sorry,
chapter
time to
7.
mute everybody.
Yes, please. Thank you, Gershom. You always right on time. Last time we read Leviticus number 6 and 7. Well, it was the plan, but I think we had good discussions, and sometimes when we have good discussions, I prefer to have to continue the discussions and not to go further the text. And we know that things in Leviticus do repeat themselves sometimes, but so this is why I thought that you can read by yourself. There are few sentences of verses in chapter 7 that I want to go over, and then we'll continue to chapter 8. So, Paula, do you have an English Bible in English and we are in Leviticus? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I've downloaded it.
Everything is in it. Okay. So what we
Sorry, or at least half the people are still not muted, and I'm getting all sorts of noises in my ears.
באמת?
So
Wait a minute, I will try it.
I'm not muted, but it's completely silent where I am. And I deliberately didn't mute myself because I can never unmute in time to say whatever it is I want to say. So last time I didn't participate at all because I could never get to the unmute button in time. So I'm just going to be very quiet, if that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what we talked about last time, we talked about the special, I don't know how to, phenomenon of the being holy is some kind of, well, I don't like the word contagious, how do you say it? Sharon, can you help me with this? איך אומרים מדבק? Contagious? Contagious, so yes, thank you. I don't really like the word contagious for this for this sense, but I don't have, maybe you have a better word, because in Hebrew it's the same word like to להידבק במחלה. It's the same word to catch a disease, but of course this is some other things. But so this is, I think, very interesting phenomenon, and also if you read through chapter 7 and 6 and 7, also being impure, can be contagious as well, but it talks a little bit differently about that. We will not go into this today, but what I wanted to read is chapter 7, verses number 16 to 21.
Ora?
Yes?
Another way of looking at contagious would be transmissible.
Okay.
Transferable, which I think is not bad.
Yes.
It doesn't have if it's transferable, it doesn't have the same connotation.
Yes.
As infections.
So
another possible word is communicable. You can communicate it to others, and I think that would be very apt.
Yeah. I think I like. I think the best is transmissible. Transmissible. So you can transmit it. It can be
transmit. You can transmit it. Yeah.
Okay. So transmissible. Okay. Anyway, so can somebody wants to read? Maybe Ginny. Chapter 7, verse 16 to 21. We just talked a little bit about this last time, so we will go briefly over that. Yeah.
Okay. Now you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. If, however, the sacrifice he offers is a votive or a free will offering, it shall be eaten on the day that he offers his sacrifice, and what is left of it shall be eaten on the morrow. What is then left of the flesh of the sacrifice shall be consumed in the fire on the third day. If any of the flesh of his sacrifice of well-being is eaten on the third day, it shall not be acceptable. It shall not count for him who offered it. It is an offensive thing, and the person who eats of it shall bear his guilt. Flesh that touches anything unclean shall not be eaten. It shall be consumed in fire. As for other flesh, only he who is clean may eat such flesh. But the person who, in a state of uncleanness, eats flesh from the Lord's sacrifices of well-being, that person should be cut off from his kin. When a person touches anything unclean, be it human uncleanliness or an unclean animal or any unclean creature, and eats flesh from the Lord's sacrifices of well-being, that person shall be cut off from his kin.
Thank you. So, Shalom Orit. So we have first thing that I wanted to look at is in verse number 18. It says that we are forbidden to eat meat in this on the third day, and this is very logic and hygienic and healthy, I think. I mean, they didn't have refrigerators, and so here it is pointed here, and even the word pigul, that in Hebrew is we use this word until today to say to reflect or to point out a meat that is not good, that is not to be eaten anymore. Okay. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to point out in this section is about the karet, the onesh karet, and look at number 80. No, sorry, 20. No, sorry, 21 is that someone who will touch someone, another one that he is impure, he will be and eat the sacrifice of peace offering. He will be also punished. I mean, it says it doesn't say that this person is impure, but if he touches someone who impure, and this is what I meant before, that is the impurity is transmittable also. Now about the karet, the punishment of karet, I read about it, and here, if I read the translation, it says, and also in Hebrew, it says, "V'nichreta hanefesh hahi me'ameha." It means me'am shela or me'amim shela, and in English, obviously, it's to be cut off from his people, right? So we understand it is he will not. No longer belong to the nation he belongs today, right? But when I try to find the commentaries about this, they don't talk about this. They don't talk. They Rashi and Dat Mikra and another one. They talk about a karet being. There are two possible punishments. First, death of all his descendants. I mean, he will not have children and descendants after him. He will live, but he will die without any descendants. Or he will have descendants and he will not die, but he will not have Chaye Ha'olam Haba. He will not live
in the world to come.
Thank you. In the world to come. So, and you know, in those days, I know that also today, but in those days, everyone and all the environment around Egypt and Mesopotamia and all the nations around really believed in this, the word to come, in the life in the world to come after death, and so it was a really hard punishment for them. I mean, today I don't think, unless someone believes it, I don't know if someone will say, "Oh, okay, I will not live for, I will not have this life after death." Okay, it's not a big deal, but yeah, in those days it was differently accepted. Okay, let's read.
But Ora,
Yes,
quick question.
yes.
So isn't that it seems to me that's a really extreme punishment. Someone who touches something unclean and then eats of the sacrifice, they're going to be cut off from their people or won't get the Olam Haba or whatever it is. It seems to me that's a very serious punishment.
Yes.
And so
you're right.
the avira doesn't seem to me to fit the punishment. It's an avira, certainly. Okay, I mean, but then it seems like it's as if you murder someone. It's a terrible, terrible
Yes.
punishment. I don't
Yes.
understand why. Can you, anyone have any ideas why? Is such a serious punishment?
You know what? Let's go over. There are four verses in this chapter that mention this punishment. Let's read them and try to understand like this. Okay. So it's verse number 20, 21, 25, and 27. Let's start with 20. We just read, right? And 21 as well. So in 20, he is not to eat the peace offering that is meant to God only. Okay, the peace offering that is not to be eaten. If you remember the previous lesson, or maybe before, we talked about that there is only olah and chatat that can, and mincha that can be eaten by the people, and everything else should be to God. And yeah, this is I agree that this is a very serious punishment for that, but this is what is written. I mean, I think that the thing is, if you touch or eat something that is Kodesh HaKodashim, the holy of holiness, the most holiness, so the punishment is very severe. Let's read 21. Okay, so this is if you touch something impure, right? And this is also if you eat from the peace offering. And again, I don't, well, between 20 and 21, I think it's quite the same. Only maybe the only difference is that in 21 we have also the touching of the impurity parameter, and you see. Oh, I see. In 20, if someone is impure and eat the peace offering, is to be correct. Okay. In 21, if someone is not impure, but he will touch something that is impure, he will and eat the peace offering, he will be also Vinichreta HaNefesh. Okay. Let's read the other two. 25. Gershom, can you read 25 and 27?
25 until 27, or?
No. Only 25 and 27.
And 27. Okay. If anyone eats the fat of animals from which offerings by fire may be made to the Lord, the person who eats it shall be cut off from his kin. Anyone who eats blood shall be cut off from his kin.
Yes, and so thank you. If you remember the fat that is on top of the flesh and not inside is not to be eaten by us. The achelev, okay, and the blood that symbolized the God. Actually, I mean, this belongs to God, and we must not eat the blood.
Ora,
yes.
I think that karet, it's not really a punishment because it's something coming from God, but it's not something realistic. I think the old place that it's written karet, it's for emphasis that not to make those things that there are mitzvot between God and the people. It's not really punished.
I mean, it's not a punishment for sins between people.
Yes.
So it's not.
It's not really. It's not.
But you are saying two things. First, it's not really, but maybe first the sins are not between, or the crimes are not between people, person to God, to other people. But okay, and well, according to these verses, yes, it's totally our relationship. Actually, it's not the relationship with God, but how to make the sacrifices. And I don't. So you say that the punishment is to frighten people, to make them, only to.
So that's what's mean. Yes. That
okay.
I think.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't read this.
View. It's not something that I read about.
Okay. Anyone else?
Well, you know what I think. I just want to. May I?
Yeah, sure.
Jeannie,
sure.
may I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure. I mean, I just seem sort of a very Israeli point of view, because I've heard as an Olah, I mean here 27 years, but nonetheless as an Olah, that Israelis talk, but they don't really do anything. And in this way, God is talking, but not really doing anything. And I don't know. I mean, I think my personal opinion is if you say something, then you have to follow through, because otherwise no one takes you seriously. So if God doesn't follow through with this and doesn't cut people off from their kin, if that's what he says is going to happen, if it's not, if he's just saying it, then none of the laws mean anything, and none of the punishments mean anything. It's all sort of, what he wants to say, and he scare you a little bit, but okay, it isn't going to happen,
Yeah.
Well, that's for the next of kin. It would be hard to prove if the person got to the world to come or not.
Yes, but well, according to what I read, it's there is a punishment, correct? I mean, I agree with Jeannie that said that it's not just virtual punishment, you'll see, but or only to frighten, because people. And also I agree that it is a very serious punishment, but still the question of Jeannie's question remains open. Why it is so important that this is the punishment for it?
Well, Ora, it seems to me it's that the whole sacrifice and details of the sacrifice is all about sort of signs of respect towards God. So it would seem that if you intentionally touch something or become unclean yourself and then touch or eat or whatever something that's supposed to be respect for God, that's exactly the opposite. It's disrespect. It's sort of disobeying the, there is one God.
I think that through all what we read in Leviticus until now, we saw that really God commands all the very, very strict commandments about how to sacrifice and what to sacrifice and where and when and all that. And because I think it's so serious, such a serious punishment because it is God's commandments. Just that. I think it's and to you don't buy it.
But there is nobody that came from the world.
Afterlife.
If it's hard punished or it's nothing.
You know what, Jeannie? Let me try to look for this. Okay, a little bit more. Okay. So another two other verses that I wanted to read from chapter 7 is the two last ones, 37 and 38. Okay, Wendy, would you like to read us?
Okay. Such are the rituals of the burnt offering, the grain offering, the purification offering, the reparation offering, the offering of ordination, and the sacrifice of well-being, with which the Lord charged Moses on Mount Sinai when he commanded that the Israelites present their offerings to the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai.
Thank you. So I think this is a very nice summary of what we read until now of chapter 6 and 7, and we will have another summarize in the end of chapter 9. And again, in Hebrew, it says Zot HaTorah in the beginning of verse 37. It says Zot HaTorah, and in English, the translation is correct, and it says this is the law of the burnt, because here the Torah means chukim, laws and rules and things like that, and also Torah in Hebrew is also something that you study. Torah, you can say Torah, and any subject that you want, Torah philosophia, Torah mathematica. You can say Torah as something, a subject of a field, of a study field. So it's a nice summary for all the Torah or the study of the law of the korbanot, the sacrifices. And 38 reminds us where we are. We are still near Mount Sinai. We didn't move. They didn't move from there. Okay, so since it's Exodus chapter, I think it is Parashat Yitro.
20?
20 is the Decalogue, the Ten Commandments. Since then, we are, if you remember, they received the Ten Commandments. They have all the laws, okay, the Parashat Mishpatim, with all the little details, and then all the instruction for the tabernacle. Gary?
No, I'm sorry. I wanted to know your difference between a sin offering and a guilt offering.
Okay.
I'm asking. I don't know the difference.
I didn't understand.
It says the law of the elevation offering, the meal offering, the sin offering, the guilt offering. Okay, so what's the difference between a sin offering and what's the difference between sin and guilt?
Okay, so it says they talk about it in the first chapters in 1 to 5 in Leviticus. If I think, if I'm not mistaken, the sin is when you sin by mistake, but a guilt when you are
intentional.
Intentional.
Okay.
No, it's not intentional exactly. Well, I don't want to go back, but maybe we can.
But you're aware of it.
Yes. Okay. Because
with the knowledge that you're sinning.
Yes, exactly. It's something, because if someone murders someone else, it is not to be. He cannot be atoned by
absolved.
Thank you. By a sacrifice. This is very clear. Or if he did something on purpose, and he knows that it is a sin, he cannot be forgiven. And this is very, very good, very rational, very. This is how you build a good company, good society. Sorry, the dog is making a lot of noise. Just a moment.
That was Aura?
She's gone.
I thought somebody was moving a chair.
Okay.
I thought so too.
He's not alone in the house. So.
Like everyone else.
Poltergeist.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to chapter 8. Okay, now. So chapter 8 is the preparation of Aaron and his sons to take the important, the holy job or position that they should take. Okay, and chapter 9 is they get in their duty. They start to do it actually. They start to work as priests. So let's read chapter 8, 1 to 4. Yuda, can you read us?
Yeah. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Take Aaron and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and the bullock of the sin offering, and the 2 rams, and the basket of unleavened bread. And assemble thou all the congregation at the door of the tent of meeting. And Moses did as the Lord commanded him, and the congregation was assembled at the door of the tent of meeting.
Thank you. So look how important it is. He had to assemble, or in Hebrew it's hakel, like from the word kehillah, and we talked about it before, to the door of the tent of meeting, and probably it was very crowded. I mean, 2 million people around the tent, but still, it is something very, very important, and this sense of importance and of, I don't know, something big that happening in the nation. This atmosphere will be through all these 2 chapters, because here we have the really the high priest is getting his his job, his position. So it is a very important and maybe even exciting session. So
is that your dog?
Yes, you read it. It's still. Wait a minute.
She probably put him in a room and he doesn't like it very much.
Or it's looking out the window and barking at other dogs like mine does.
Well, I had this in the summer when the windows were all open. All the dogs outside were barking.
Yeah.
Ora, did you feed your dog today?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but he, when I sit a long time near the computer, he starts to, I'm here, attention, and
like a child.
Yeah, they are totally like a child. Okay, so let's continue. And now the reading is quite long, between 5 to 30. Who wants to read? Sharon, את רוצה לקרוא?
I don't mind. I'm using the Hertz Bible, which
I will.
Which Lynn loaned me.
Crystal.
It's a terrible translation. So
okay,
go ahead.
So Crystal, you're free.
This is what the Lord has commanded to be done. Then Moses brought Aaron and his sons forward and washed them with water. He put the tunic on him, girded him with the sash, clothed him with the robe, and put the ephod on him, girding him with decorated band with which he tied it to him. He put the breastpiece on him and put into the breastpiece the Urim and the Thummim. And he set the headdress on the head, and on the headdress in front he put the gold frontlet, the holy diadem, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Moses took the anointing oil and anointed the tabernacle and all that was in it, thus consecrating them. He sprinkled some of it on the altar 7 times, anointing the altar, all of its utensils, and the laver with its stand to consecrate them. He poured some of the anointing oil upon Aaron's head and anointed him to consecrate him. Moses then brought Aaron's son forward, clothed them in tunics, girded them with sashes, and wound turbans around them, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He led forward the bull of purgation offering. Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the bull of purgation offering, and it was slaughtered. Moses took the blood and with his finger put some on each of the horns of the altar, purifying the altar. Then he poured out the blood at the base of the altar. Thus he consecrated it in order to make expiation upon it. Moses then took all the fat that was about the entrails and the protuberance of the liver and the 2 kidneys and their fat and turned them into smoke on the altar. The rest of the bull, its hide, its flesh, and its dung, he put to the fire outside the camp, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Do you want me to go on to 30, you said? Yeah? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I mute myself because of the dog.
Then he brought forward the ram of burnt offering. Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the ram's head, and it was slaughtered. Moses dashed the blood against all sides of the altar. The ram was cut into sections, and Moses turned the head, the sections, and the suet into smoke on the altar. Moses washed the entrails of the legs with water and turned all of the ram into smoke. That was a burnt offering for a pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He brought forth the second ram, the ram of ordination. Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the ram's head, and it was slaughtered. Moses took some of his blood and put it on the ridge of Aaron's right ear, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. Moses then brought forward the sons of Aaron and put some of the blood on the ridges of their right ears, and on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. And the rest of the blood Moses dashed along every side of the altar. He took the fat, the broad tail, all the fat about the entrails, the protuberance of the liver, and the 2 kidneys and their fat, and the right thigh. From the basket of unleavened bread that was before him, before the Lord, he took 1 cake of unleavened bread, 1 cake of oil bread, and 1 wafer, and placed them on the fat parts and on the right thigh. He placed all these on the palms of Aaron and on the palms of his sons, and elevated them as an elevation offering before the Lord. Then Moses took them from their hands and turned them into smoke on the altar with the burnt offering. This was an ordination offered for a pleasing odor. It was offered by fire to the Lord. Moses took the breast and elevated it as an elevation offering before the Lord. It was Moses's portion of the ram of ordinance, as the Lord had commanded Moses. And Moses took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood that was on the altar, spilled it upon Aaron and upon his vestments, and also upon his sons and upon their vestments. Thus he consecrated Aaron and his vestments, and also his sons and their vestments.
Thank you. So, yeah, it was a long section, but all what Crystal read talks about the preparation of Aaron and his sons, right, to enter their position. Now, we will not talk. I mean, we will not go over every detail because it's kind of a special ritual that, and as you see all the details of the sacrifices and all that. I just want you to notice that first, who is the active here and who is the passive, and who are the passive? This is obvious, right? I mean, Moses does everything, and Aaron and his sons stand and just be there. Okay, they don't have to yet have to do anything. Now, there is something very special about the word va'ishchat, but look at number 23, okay, va'ishchat. Now, okay, number 23, I don't exactly understand the translation in English. I mean, it says in what I read, and when it was slain, what's a biduk slain, Sharon?
Killed.
To be killed, as to be slaughtered, no?
Slaughtered, yeah.
Well, okay, so in Hebrew, it's va'ishchat. It's not passive tense, but Moses did the slaughtery, okay, to slaughter the animal. And then he took from his, from his blood and put on the ear and all that. Okay. Now, I want you to well, there is something special about this word va'ishchat. This word in verse number 23. I don't know how to say ta'amei hamikra. The notes of the Bible, when we chant
it's called
intonations,
notation, musical
notations. I really looked for it, and all I got is taste and ta'amim and the meanings. That is also, but it's not ta'amim. Okay, so notations. Okay. So,
it's also called cantillation, but that's too fancy.
Okay. Like from cantor, cantillation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, and on above the word va'ishchat in 23, above there is a special rare note. Thank you, which is called shalshelet.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to read something that about this. Just a minute, I will share. Okay. So first of all, I'm sure some of you know the meanings or know the roles of the notations. But let's read it, like let's remind us all this subject. Sharon, can you read this? The notes.
Notes of the Bible, Ta'amei HaMikra, are special signs that are placed above or below the Hebrew words in the Bible and are in fact the first punctuation marks of Hebrew. These signs have a few functions. One is musical. It provides the tune, guide how to chant the biblical text. Each sign has a specific melody consisting of a combination of several notes. The melody enriches the reading and makes it easier to remember. This is the main function of the biblical signs. Syntax, punctuation. For the most part, the melody of the verse, and in any case, the order of the biblical signs in it, depend on the syntactic structure of the verse. Therefore, the signs usually play a role of punctuation as well. Musical considerations sometimes outweigh syntactic considerations. Hold on, you just jumped. And the order of the signs does not match the punctuation of the sentence. Phonological, emphasis of the word, whether the emphasis of the word is in the beginning of the word, milel, or in the end, milra, usually the biblical signs will appear on or below the emphasized syllable. Sometimes we can interpret them as providing information, as in the case of shalshelet. Aha. Can you scroll down? The shalshelet sign is rare and appears only 4 times throughout the Bible. This sign is played out at great length, up and down 3 times. And according to the common explanation, it may have come to indicate prolonged action, such as deliberation, mental difficulty in making a particular decision, and perhaps even an identity crisis. Whoa. The first shalshelet in the Torah appears in Lot's story. Lot separated from Abraham.
Just a minute, Sharon. I will just, let's hear shalshelet for just a minute. I will share. Now, my dog is making a lot of noise. Actually,
is he moving furniture?
He's spinning the dreidel.
I know what to do next time. I will not sit here. Okay, so let's. I don't find it. I prepare. Okay, in it. This is okay. Let me. Okay, did you hear everyone?
No.
No? Oi.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
But you see the screen and you didn't hear.
Right.
Oh, so anyway, it goes something like Sharon did, something like shall something like this 3 times. Okay. Now let's go back to the yes. Okay, can you continue, Sharon?
The first shalshelet in the Torah appears in Lot's story. Lot separated from Abraham and settled in Sodom. He made connections with the local community. His daughters married the inhabitants of the city, and he himself sat at the city gate. Hence, Rashi writes that he was also a judge. Then the 2 foreign angels came to Sodom and told him he should leave because the city was about to be destroyed. Lot decided to listen to them and leave the city, but it is written that he delayed, and the word delayed, vayit ma'ama, is marked with the sign shalshelet. This sign seems to emphasize to us that the separation was not an easy step for him. He had to leave his town, his home, and his community, and all the property he had.
Okay, so and these are the verses.
But he lingered.
Yeah, but he lingered, and the men. Can you read it? 15 and 16.
And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, "Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters that are here, lest thou be swept away in the iniquity of the city." But he lingered, and the men laid hold upon his hand and upon the hand of his wife and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him. And they brought him forth and set him without the city. It's as if he dragged away.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't want to leave. And there is so the sign is on above this word vayit ma'ama, but and above this syllable. Okay, to make sure that we chant it with the emphasis on the last syllable of the word, and even there is this sign, which is also this is called pasek.
Pause. It's a pause.
A pause or a pasek in Hebrew. Yes, and also it says, don't rush with this. He had to take his time and to pause a little bit. It's very, it's very interesting how they use the signs to reflect the content. Someone else wants to continue? Who didn't read? Gary, you want to?
Where are we? In the second case?
Yes. Yes.
In the second case, where the Shalshelet sign appears, Abraham asked his servant Eliezer to go find a bride for Isaac. The commentators interpreted that it was not easy for Eliezer to carry out the mission, since he hoped that Isaac would marry his daughter, and he and his descendants will be the ones who will inherit Abraham's inheritance. Abraham had already said this to God before the birth of Isaac. If Eliezer succeeds in the mission and brings a wife to Isaac, with whom he will have children, he will have no chance to inherit the inheritance of Abraham. He had to be loyal to Abraham with all his heart, which he really had been, but it was not an easy decision for him. And here too, the Shalet sign alludes this in a verse describing Eliezer's prayer for the success of his mission. This sign appears above the word said.
Vayomar. Okay. Can you read this? The section itself, in Genesis. Yes, from 1 to 3 until.
And Abraham was old, well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his servant, the elder of his house that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife for my son of the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell. But thou shalt go unto my country, and to my kindred, and take a wife for my son, even for Isaac. And he said,
and here we, okay.
The God of my master Abraham, send me, I pray thee, good speed this day, and show kindness upon my master Abraham.
So there is also here a Shalshelet. And I don't remember if it says here that it wasn't so easy for him to do this mission, because.
But where is that sign? I don't see nowhere a Shalshelet.
Here? Oh no, I didn't put here, but there is a sign in the Torah. In the Torah, there is a sign of Shalshelet.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I didn't find a way to attach here this sign, because it is a very special sign. Anyway, okay, so the third, and then we will talk about the fourth Shalshelet in our chapter. Okay, so Shlomo, I don't see everyone. So if someone wants to read, so just let me know.
The third Shalshelet is in the story of Joseph entrusted on the house of Potiphar, Pharaoh's minister. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him, and he had passed the test with great heroism. The word Vayimain, he refused, is marked with Shalshelet, and commentators had seen it as a hint for the great effort required from Joseph to refuse Potiphar's wife. He not only gave up the temptation, but also his status he began to establish in Egypt. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused, and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master having me knoweth not what is in the house, and he had put all that he had into my hand.
Thank you. So here again, when he refused, it is with Shalshelet and Pasek and a pause. And I mean, according, of course, everything is in a commentary, and we don't have to accept this commentary, but this is the common or accepted Perush commentary or meaning of this. And you know, every time I read about figures in the Torah, I say, well, they are human beings. They have their weaknesses, and they are not perfect. And also here, I mean, we always think of Joseph in Potiphar and all his story in Egypt as a great man. But here we have something that, if according to this commentary, we say, wow, it was difficult for him to refuse to the woman of Potiphar. Okay, let's continue to number 4 and last Shalshelet. And who didn't read yet and wants to read? Paula, I'm sorry, I don't see you. So I don't see all of you now. When I share, I don't see all of you. Paula, would you like to read?
Yeah, I can read.
Yeah.
The fourth and the last Shalshelet sign is in Tishva portion in the word Vaishchat or slaughter.
Yes.
Vaishchat or slaughter. When the process of building the Mishkan ends, Moshe serves temporarily as the high priest. But now, after everything is prepared, he must sanctify Aaron and his sons for priesthood. He clothed Aaron in the garments of a high priest, anointed him with anointing oil, and offered the sacrifice that were due. When Aaron and his sons place their hands on the head of the ram, and Moses sacrifices the second reserved ram, the Shalshelet sign appears above the word Vaishchat in Leviticus 8:22. From what we have seen so far, it's possible to understand that here, too, there is a hint of some struggle and internal difficulty from Moshe Rabbeinu as well. But unlike the previous cases, maybe in this case, the root for Moshe's private struggle is not so obvious. So the question is, why does Moshe feel struggle?
Okay, so I will stop sharing right now. After that we will. So what do you think? If there is in verse number it's 23, not 22. So why does Moshe have struggles when in this chapter, in this specific chapter?
Perhaps he hoped to become himself the high priest.
Yes, and yes.
And it is his brother Aaron who becomes the high priest.
Yeah. Anyone wants to add for this? Well, according to I think most of the commentaries, at least I didn't find any other commentary for that. It is like Shlomo said, he is really he's having hard time in actually doing the little activities of making or entering his brother to be a high priest. I mean, all the anointment and all the sacrifices and all that. This is really something, and here,
July or
yes, it was
like tonight.
Harriet, mute yourself.
Yes, and here it is difficult for him. Now, something a difference between he's a great leader and all that. I mean, he has and a prophet, and Aaron is not all this, but something. What is maybe one of the main differences between the position of a prophet and a leader and the position of a Kohen. What do you think? That also made him struggling or a great difficulty. A difference between these two duties. If you remember, we read all the time through all the chapters about the high priest. We said Aaron and his sons. Aaron and his sons. Aaron will be the high priest, and his sons will also have to study the priesthood and to become priests, right? And after his sons, what is the main difference between?
Sorry, I can't remember the chronological. Is this before or after the golden calf? It's after, right?
This is after. Yeah. The golden calf
could
is.
It be, yeah. I don't know. I'm just putting myself in his shoes. And could it be that he's having a flashback of all that and saying, "Are they really going to follow the rules? Are they really going to?"
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Are they really going to fulfill? I think.
But why is
something? When I lived in China, I passed it behind a mosque, and they were slaughtering the animals to be sold in the market later that day, right? It's a shocking scene. It's something really that really you need energy, you need strength, right? You really need to be intentional about it. You cannot just like hesitate in doing it. And so like I'm imagining if you had any hesitation in the process.
So you are referring to the process itself of the sacrifices? Okay. But well, let's go to verse number 15 and verse number 19. We also have Vaishchat, and when it was slain, and again, and when it was killed. Okay, and there we don't have. It's the same word, the same act. He took an animal and he slaughtered it and did all the things with the blood and the fingers and all that. Okay, and again in 19, and he slaughtered the animal. First, it was the parachata, the bullock of the sin offering in number 14, 15, and then in number 18, 19, it was the ram of the burnt offering. Okay. And again, and the third one is what we are talking about. What we are talking about is in 22, 23. He took the other ram, and he slaughtered it. But here it says he had some difficulty. I mean, it doesn't. It's not written, but it has a shalshelet, and well. I think, and really according to, I think Shlomo is right about his understanding of it, and also think of until maybe let's read it. Okay, let's read the continuation that I prepared.
Yeah.
Yes. Who? The 4th century. This. Okay. So when did I think you didn't read, right? Wait a minute. Unmute.
I did read. Yes.
Oh, you did read, and Katrina, do you want to read? No. Okay. Okay, Orit, Harriet, do you want to read? This is well, actually, this is the verse that we are reading now. Okay, so can you read it?
Yeah. And the other ram was presented. Wait, I can't see the rest.
No, here you can see it.
Okay. The ram of consecration, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram.
Okay.
And when it was slain, Moses took of the blood thereof and put it upon the tip of Aaron's right ear and upon the thumb of his right hand and upon the great toe of his right foot.
Okay, now let's continue in English. This was, okay, can you?
Yeah, let's look about the background. Until now, Moses led the Israelites. Aaron mostly supported him and served as his assistant. From now on, this is going to change. Aaron is going to get a special and important leadership role. He will be the high priest and hence will do things that Moses will never be able to do. And continue?
Yeah.
Maybe out of his modesty, Moses did not want to take it first, the great leadership role that God assigned him for. In the end of the long discussion between God and Moses, God told him that Aaron would accompany and help him. According to the Gemara, in this very moment, Moses lost the future priesthood to Aaron, and it is described there as God said to Moses, I said you are Kohen, and he is Levi. Now he is Kohen, and you are Levi. In light of this, it is possible to explain the internal difficulty that Moses Rabbeinu seems to have experienced. He sacrifices shlamim.
Well, it is not shlamim, it is a miluim offering. It's
offering.
Yeah, never mind. The one type of the offering.
Offering to complete the appointment of Aaron to the position he himself was destined to be appointed to. He sanctifies the sons of Aaron to the priesthood. He could bequeath to his descendants for all generations. And in those moments, he parted from the high priest position he himself had fulfilled, maybe not formally until now. Moses, the humblest of all men, must have been very happy to prepare his brother for the priesthood and to keep the commandments of God without any hesitation. But at that moment, he also experienced a great loss, perhaps even a loss with spiritual significance. And that could explain why there is a shalshelet sign in that story as well.
Just to finish, yeah.
Okay, to recap, as we have seen, one can find in all four shalshelet signs that appear in the Torah evidence for cases with a mental difficulty in making a particular decision. And one can also hear an expression of this in the way that the shalshelet is to be chanted. Rises and falls and rises and falls and rises and falls. And in all cases, in the end, all the figures, Lot, Eliezer, Yosef, and Moshe Rabbeinu, gave up something that was hard for them to give up in order to do the right thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So, and just to add one thing for what we read is that we don't have shalshelet sign above the two previous words of Vaishchat. We don't have because the third word Vaishchat in verse number 23 is when he sacrificed the special offering, special sacrifice for this occasion. Well, the first one of the bullock of the sin offering, it's quite a regular sacrifice, and I mean, it is sacrificed for many occasions, and also the second one of the El Ha'olah, the ram of the burnt offering. But here the miluim, the ram of how do you say it in English? The other ram. Okay. Here is the special for the assignment of Aaron, and this is why we have here and not in other places.
I think it's very natural that Moshe would feel like that. He's done all the work, all the preparation, all the leadership. He's suffered all the chutzpah of all the people around him, and he's had to fight for them, to persuade God to forgive them, and he's done so much. And then Aaron comes and takes all the honors. I think it's perfectly natural for him.
And
although didn't Moshe like talk face to face with God? I mean, to me that would be it. I just
I didn't
to talk face to face with God. That would be it for me. I've done all I can do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Moses is great, and he, I mean.
Or maybe also the Moshe noticed that the responsibility of the taking the לקחת את האחריות,
take the responsibility,
because it's very dangerous, because some place in the future we saw that the two sons of Aaron,
chapter
they not do it well.
Yeah, it can be very dangerous to be a priest, to worship. To worship God. But I don't know if. So, do you think he didn't want to become a high priest? Because this is what he did until now. Until now, he was he did everything. He was the leader. He was the high priest. He did everything. But now is the. Well, I agree with this commentary that says.
Okay.
Jeannie.
Okay, I have one other different thought, similar but different in that maybe he wanted to be the high priest because he felt that he was more qualified than Aaron, because after all, when he was on Mount Sinai with the Ten Commandments and Aaron was with the people and helping the people with the golden calf, that's not a great sign of Aaron's character and ability to lead people in a tough situation. Absolutely. And so I think, and so maybe Moshe was hesitating and conflicted about giving Aaron the high priesthood and ordaining him and his sons, because he felt they really weren't entirely qualified, and Moshe was in a position really to judge. Not to say that I don't think he was arrogant. I don't think it was from arrogance, from just caring about the future of the Jewish people. And I think, and so he was hesitation, maybe looking a different way was from that.
Yeah, very interesting point that you raised. We cannot forget, Aaron got it very easy.
I think that happens to any leader, right? And even like when I just left a job and I was directing a department, and then I had to hire and train the person after me. Although it was a very qualified person, I knew she was going to have a hard time because it was something new for her. So I had an hesitation at the end of my term, thinking, am I doing the right thing, or am I just gonna leave the thing and gonna collapse? It's a normal. I think I agree with it. It's a normal thing for somebody that leads with responsibility to feel like that. Am I doing the right thing? Did I understand God right? Am I missing something here? I think so many things could have passed in his mind at the moment. I know that I would have hesitated, especially if it's a brother or a sister. Yeah, we all have siblings, and you go like, I know this guy. I know I go to his tent, and I know how messy he is.
Yeah, exactly. All the little things that he does.
Is he gonna make a mess?
Yeah. I like the thing that Etzem Ha'inyan, the thing that he hesitates. I really like. I mean, Moses is not perfect. The great Moses is not perfect like everyone else, and he has hesitation, and he has maybe a little bit envy, maybe a little bit of like what Jenny said and what Paula said. I mean, he has his ups and downs, like the Shalshelet. This is why, The only thing is about the Shalshelet sign is that they also, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs talks about the Shalshelet and the 4 times, and this is very, I think, a common commentary about this. But I don't think that this was the only 4 times that people hesitated or had a rough time to decide about something, or in the Torah or in the whole Bible. Just I'm sure that there were other points of, I don't know. I would expect that maybe Jacob, before cheating, I don't know, maybe not, maybe Jacob or Rebecca, before cheating Yitzhak, Jacob's father, maybe he had to Shalshelet, to hesitate there.
Think about.
To think about it. I mean, it was, yeah. Okay, so if you, unless you want to say something about it, we can continue. Oh, but let's continue. Well, I see that we will not read number 9. So let's just read the until the end of the chapter, and that's it.
Laura,
yes.
I ask one thing. We've read all about all these sacrifices going back. Wasn't anybody at the time disgusted by this ceremonial, the description? I know you've mentioned it's better than what the people did. Wasn't there any kind of disgust? I hate.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that this question is always relevant. I mean, yeah. I mean,
putting the blood and all this ceremonial. It really disgusts me to read it. I don't,
Yeah. I understand. And if, yeah, Gary.
But it continued through the temples. So.
Yeah, and I
think that anyone wants to. I think they wanted to do it.
I think Meir Shalev wrote about it somewhere that in the temples and for example in the 3 big holidays, okay, Sukkot and when people went to the temple and all that, there were rivers of blood there. I mean, because it's on only one bullock that was slaughtered. People brought their animals to. I think. Well, let's. I don't know.
But they say, "Echat mashlima." How do you kind of accept this as being enlightened? The people
all I can say. I keep reminding myself that we really cannot. I think the difference, the huge difference between our life today and their life, I don't think we can catch it. We can understand it or grasp. I don't think. Really don't think. I mean, the whole set of the mind, the thoughts, the habits, the ritual, totally different.
But Harriet, also, when was the last time that you or somebody around you ate meat of some sort, versus when was the last time that you actually saw the animal slaughtered for you to eat it?
Yeah.
So that was a normal part of life.
Exactly. If you wanted to eat meat, you didn't go to a supermarket. Yeah. yeah. No, but but you're right. I mean, it's. I just,
to Gershon's point, there could be people 100 years from now. How do those people eat meat back in 2020? How did they actually carve up a piece of meat and eat it? Or how did they take a fish? I mean, 100, 200 years from now, people might be talking about us.
Yeah.
There are many people who say that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think if small children see from when they are very young, all these things, they think this is the natural way of living.
Well, Laura, I think there was one entity in this meeting that was very offended by animal sacrifices, and it was your dog. He was complaining the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think is הוא רצה תשומת לב. But maybe you're right. Okay, let's just read until the end of the. Who wants to read? I mean, you all read, so.
I want to.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
what
please
verse?
go ahead. What?
What verse?
31 until
Yes.
the end.
Moses said to Aaron and his sons, boil the flesh at the entrance of the tent of meeting and eat there with the bread that is in the basket of ordination, as I commanded. Aaron and his sons shall eat it, and what is left over of the flesh and the bread you shall consume in fire. You shall not go outside the entrance of the tent of meeting for 7 days until the day that your period of ordination is completed. For your ordination will require 7 days. Everything done today, the Lord has commanded to be done 7 days, to make expiation for you. You shall remain at the entrance of the tent of meeting day and night for 7 days, keeping the Lord's charge, that you may not die, for so I have been commanded. And Aaron and his sons did all the things that the Lord had commanded through Moses.
Thank you. So it's really a festival of 7 days, and the chapter 9 begins in what happened in the 8th day. Okay, so thank you very much. Paula, if you want, I can add you to the WhatsApp group if you want to continue. I can, if you.
Yes. What should I do? Should I give you my phone number here? What do you prefer?
Yeah, you can write in, or tell me your phone number. Okay, so.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Enjoy.
Happy Hanukkah.
תודה רבה.
Thank you, Ora.
Bye-bye.
חנוכה שמח, כן.
תודה רבה.
Enjoy
כן.
Hanukkah. תודה רבה.
כן.
So,
Ora, my phone number is there, or?
כן. Yeah, I'm writing. אני כותבת.
When is the next class?
Oh, I can, yeah, okay. So these classes are every other Thursday, okay? Well, it was very not regular that we had also last week, but this was because it was never mind. But usually, so it will be in 2 weeks from now. And this is what we are doing. I mean, sometimes, people not everyone likes it, but we read the chapter and discuss things. Sometimes I worked with some commentators and brings, but you know, the idea is to discuss, to have discussions about everything, about like we did now with the thing is how can we accept all this bloodshed and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So and the idea also to, you know, if we think God was wrong, we say it. It's not I mean, we can be critic. Yeah, I mean, the idea just to discuss whatever we want. And I know my English is not perfect. I apologize for it, but I'm doing my best. And that's it.
Okay. And he agrees.
Yeah, I agree. It's not always like this. It's not always. Yeah, he's welcome.
Maybe he wants his treat. Maybe he wants his guilt.
Yeah. I have also so I will take your phone number. Just I'm writing.
Yes. Sometimes if people cannot find with the 0 in front of it, just put the whole thing 974 like for a phrase.
972. Well.
972.
Okay.
54. Sometimes if you don't find like this, you find the other way.
Okay. So 172.
No, I don't know. Like, let me see. What is our? I never know our.
You want me to? you know what?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes. let me see.
Oh, I don't, it is too, no, I can't see. No, I can't see.
Wait.
It's too bright. It's
Too
too bright.
Sometimes I can get some shade, you know.
No. You know what? I will take from, I will
Here
take it
on the
from,
WhatsApp is 972
okay,
54 920 9550.
920
550.
950. So, again. 054, right?
Yeah, but here on my WhatsApp, the way it's saved is it starts from 972.
Okay, so without the zero. So, okay.
Yeah.
So 54 920 9550, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so Chag Sameach and welcome, and it was very nice to have you with us.
Yes.
Bye.
Finally find a group to study together.
Yeah?
All right.
Okay, bye.